Today is not an ordinary day, and this message is not an ordinary message. As the full moon portal closes on December 7, the energy around you is shifting, quietly, intensely, unmistakably. Many people will go through this moment unconsciously. Many will feel the change, but never understand what it means. But if you are hearing this right now, it means you were meant to, because there is one wrong move, one subtle mistake that most people make during this closing portal, and it silently blocks their awakening, dims their intuition, and keeps them stuck in the same old emotional cycles. When we think about portals, energy shifts, or cosmic openings, many people imagine something external, something happening in the sky, something mystical occurring far beyond their control. But the truth is far more personal and far more challenging. The portal does not close when the moon completes its phase, it closes whenever your mind becomes distracted. This period of the full moon brings heightened intuition, amplified emotions, and accelerated manifestation energy. But none of that matters if your attention is scattered. Distraction is the silent thief of spiritual growth. It convinces you to check the phone, instead of checking your inner self. It keeps you focused on noise instead of clarity. It pulls you into small, draining, meaningless engagements at the exact moment when the universe is trying to deliver something meaningful to you. When your mind wanders, when you start replaying old stories, when you let someone's negativity occupy your mental space, the portal begins to close. Not outwardly, but inwardly. This window of energy was designed to show you something, to open you, to reveal hidden truths, and guide you toward alignment. But alignment requires awareness. It requires presence. It requires you to be deliberately connected to your intuition, rather than unconsciously reacting to distractions. The portal is an opportunity for clarity, release, and awakening, yet most people miss it, because their minds are overwhelmed with old worries, past memories, unnecessary overthinking, and emotional clutter. This is why the wrong move right now is letting mental noise run your day. Every time you get pulled back into fear, comparison, frustration, or doubt, your inner portal shrinks. Every time you ignore your inner voice, because you are too busy, too tired, or too scattered, the message meant for you fades. Your spiritual awakening does not depend on cosmic timing alone. It depends on whether you are mentally open enough to receive what the universe is giving. Distraction closes the door. Awareness opens it. The energy today is trying to help you shed something heavy, release something old, and step into something more aligned. But it can only reach you if your mind is still enough to notice it. If your attention is constantly pulled outward, you won't sense the guidance that is trying to rise within you. The mind can block what the soul is trying to reveal. Your emotions during this full moon period are not random. They are signals, indicators, and mirrors revealing exactly where your energy stands. Right now, every reaction you have becomes a kind of spiritual signature, shaping the frequency you will carry forward for the next 30 days. This is why emotional responses are so crucial during this portal closing. You are not just feeling, you are imprinting. You are not just reacting, you are creating momentum. When you respond from fear, frustration, jealousy, or impatience, you unintentionally align yourself with more situations that activate those same emotions. When you respond with calm, awareness, and inner stability, you step into a timeline that supports your growth, clarity, and awakening. This is a highly sensitive energetic window, and whatever emotion you feed is the emotion that expands. People often underestimate how powerful their emotional vibration is during cosmic shifts. They think emotions come and go, but during moments like this, emotions act more like anchors or launch pads. If you choose emotional chaos, you anchor yourself to chaos. If you choose emotional discipline, you launch yourself into alignment. The full moon amplifies whatever you carry inside, so even the smallest reaction matters. A small irritation can spiral into a pattern. A moment of grounding can turn into a breakthrough. This is why the universe pays attention, not to what you wish for on days like this, but to what you emotionally embody. Your inner state holds more weight than your words, your plans, or your rituals. You are being tested not by circumstances, but by your ability to manage your internal world when external energy is heightened. Someone may trigger you, a situation may disappoint you, or an old wound may resurface. These moments are not punishments. They are final checkpoints. They reveal whether you are truly ready to step into a higher level of consciousness, or whether you still fall into the same loops. Every choice you make in these emotionally charged moments becomes part of your energetic blueprint. The question is not whether challenges appear, the question is how you respond. Emotional maturity, even in small doses, can shift your entire path. Emotional impulsiveness, even in small moments, can block your progress. The next phase of your spiritual awakening begins with the emotional tone you set right now. In these days when the energy is at its peak, and your inner world is at its most influential, letting old patterns return is the quiet undoing of everything you've been working toward during your spiritual journey. These patterns rarely announce themselves loudly. They slip back into your life through familiar thoughts, automatic reactions, and comfortable but limiting habits. During a powerful energetic window like this full moon portal, your old patterns become even more tempting because your soul is trying to rise while your past tries to pull you back. The contrast becomes sharper. The choices become clearer. The stakes become higher. When energy intensifies, the mind often defaults to what it already knows, even if what it knows has been the very thing keeping you stuck. This is why returning to old cycles is the single biggest threat to your awakening. It happens subtly. It happens slowly. And it happens when you're not paying attention. These old patterns can show up as overthinking, emotional avoidance, self-sabotage, seeking validation from the wrong places, or falling back into relationships and environments you already outgrew. They can appear in your reactions, snapping quickly, shutting down, retreating, or pretending you don't care. They appear in your routines, sleeping late, ignoring your intuition, abandoning your practices, or going back to distractions that drain you. None of these things seem huge in the moment, but collectively, they pull you out of alignment. They dim your intuition. They silence your inner guidance. They block the clarity that is trying to reach you. Old patterns are comfortable because they are familiar. But comfort is not the same as alignment. Familiarity is not the same as growth. Right now the universe is giving you an opportunity to break cycles that have followed you for years, maybe even lifetimes. But that opportunity dissolves the moment you fall back into the very behaviors that your higher self has been pushing you to evolve beyond. Spiritual awakening is not just about insights or signs. It is about choosing differently when life tests you. During a portal closing, these tests intensify. A small trigger can push you toward an old reaction. A minor inconvenience can push you toward an old belief. An uncomfortable emotion can push you toward an old escape. These moments are checkpoints, not setbacks. They reveal whether your growth is rooted or only temporary. Every time you resist an old pattern, you strengthen your new identity. Every time you choose consciousness instead of autopilot, you step further into the version of yourself that your soul has been trying to create. Every time you stay aware instead of slipping back into routine, you open doors that old patterns were designed to keep closed. Your intuition is naturally louder during a full moon because your inner senses are heightened, your emotions are amplified, and your subconscious becomes easier to access. But at the same time, your ego also grows louder, trying to pull you back into familiar thought patterns, fears, and doubts. Intuition speaks in calm clarity, gentle nudges, sudden knowing, or quiet insight. Ego speaks in urgency, worry, overanalysis, and repetitive inner noise. During this energetic window, these two voices compete more intensely than usual, and the one you feed is the one that takes control of your direction. This is why recognizing the difference between intuitive guidance and ego interference becomes essential. Your intuition is trying to guide you forward, while your ego is trying to keep you safe in the familiar, even if the familiar is limiting or painful. When your intuition speaks, it often feels like truth without explanation. It doesn't demand proof. It doesn't create panic. It simply presents clarity. But ego, fueled by old wounds and past experiences, tries to overpower that clarity by reminding you of everything that could go wrong. It uses fear to keep you from taking aligned steps. It uses doubt to make you question your growth. It uses noise to distract you from inner wisdom. Right now, the portal's closing energy magnifies both voices, making it crucial to stay connected to what is real and silence what is reactive. Intuition gives direction. Ego gives distraction. Intuition moves you toward alignment. Ego keeps you looping in the past. During this phase, you may feel moments of sudden insight, ideas appearing out of nowhere, emotional truths rising to the surface, or a strong sense of what you need to release or pursue. These are not coincidences. These are intuitive downloads that the heightened lunar energy makes more accessible. But the moment your mind begins to overthink or second guess, ego steps in and begins diluting the message. This is why trusting your first inner feeling is often the most aligned choice right now. The longer you sit in doubt, the easier it is for ego to take over and drown out what your higher self is trying to say. You may find yourself pulled between wanting to move forward and wanting to retreat, wanting to trust and wanting to control, wanting to follow your knowing and wanting to cling to certainty. This inner tug of war is proof that something within you is shifting. The louder your ego becomes, the closer you are to a breakthrough, because ego fights hardest when it senses transformation. The key is staying grounded enough to hear the intuitive whisper beneath the mental noise, recognizing which voice leads you toward expansion and which voice leads you back into limitation.